I'm Ashleigh Chambers, born on the 7th of April 1991 in Geelong. I was an identical mirror twin, and unfortunately my mirror twin was stillborn, so I ended up with the lovely disability of cerebral palsy and scoliosis. If it wasn't for my family putting me through rehab, physio, surgeries, and then finding the sports I do now, I would be basically a couch potato. Wasn't able to play athletics, wasn't able to play basketball because I wasn't able to keep up with the mainstream kids, running, jumping, skipping even, because I would fall over. So then I was able to find the wheelchair community, and I was able to find athletics, tennis, and then the sport I love, basketball. Without that and the community behind me, I wouldn't be where I am now. Where we would go into businesses, high schools, primary schools all around Victoria. Got them to experience from our side how we play sports, how we are a normal person. That chair is part of us. We don't have to be singled out because of our disability. And that's an eye-opener for absolutely anybody to treat us as normal as they can. Times I was living on people's couches, I was living in even cars because no rental place would give me an opportunity because I didn't have a paid job. I was only living on a disability pension. I would get to the final stage of it and they go, oh no, sorry, someone else has been selected because I don't earn enough or I don't meet the criteria. I was able to find a small unit, which was a 3-bedroom unit, but then I still had to go through the loopholes of proving that I was able to afford it. I was able to go through the applications. I had to have the referees, I had to have everything as anyone else would. But my concern was that because I was only on DSP at the time, I get knocked back. We shouldn't have to go fighting every single day of the week. We have to fight enough with our own disabilities to even get out of bed. Give us the chance, because we are no different than anybody else. Look past our disabilities. We may be an advantage to the person that hires us or even gives us that roof over our head. We might be able to secure that property or that unit for 3 years or 4 years and they won't have to find anyone else for it. So give us that chance. I moved into that house 20 days ago. It took me 5 months to get that one unit for a year. My concern is once that year's up, I'll have to go through that again. So I've got my VCE, I've got my business admin, I've got disability set for, I've got IT, I've got photography, I've got mental health, and I've got a sports degree. On my resumes, I didn't hide that I had cerebral palsy or scoliosis, that I had to take time off for medical appointments. I didn't hide that. And I won't hide that because that's not fair on the employers, nor myself. I did the interviews over the phone, it was fine, because they couldn't see me. I did the next interview, got to the second stage, and by the time I got to the third and final stage, I walked in there, and they're like, oh, sorry, no. And the reason why is because, oh, you're too much of a risk, you'd have to take too much time off, or your disability, we're just not interested. I applied for a job at Apple, so I thought, my high chances of this, very unlikely. I answered the phone call and it was the head office of Apple. They said we'd be very honoured to give you a part-time position, so that means I've now got a paid job. Much easier, smoother than any other agency I've dealt with. If you've got an issue, you ring up whoever you need to speak to and it's usually sorted within the 24 hours. In the 5 to 6 months I've been with Sunrise to Sunrise, I've said I wanted this, for example, my new basketball chair that I want to get through NDIS, or I want to get funding for Brandon, for example, from Sunrise to Sunrise, or someone to come out and put rails in a new house. All I've had to do is ring up or email and ask. It's as simple as a yes or a no question. I haven't had to fight. This is the one agency in the entire time with NDIS or anything that I have not had to fight.